was the movie you did go and see?
It was Gardens of the Galaxy.
Gardens of the Galaxy.
Gardens. I saw it
Guardians.
twice. Saw it twice as well.
Gardens. Yeah, you saw it twice.
I saw Gardens.
I only wanted to see it once, and that was it. I never want to see it again. Nah, I'm only joking.
Damn.
So our typical review is going to be full of spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, don't listen. It's been out a week, so you should see it by now.
It's been out 3 weeks.
So,
yeah.
I'm so sick of lost track of time.
I saw it 2 days ago for the second time. And and then I was saying to my wife, I was like, did we see this last week? I was like, are we seeing it already? And then she was like, no, we saw it the week after. Because last week was Jono's. So I was
I'm going to go see it tonight. So. I'm going to end this podcast. I'm going to go see it tonight. Screw you.
I'm Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That's good. Oh, that was so good.
Full spoilers for the whole thing because it's been out a couple of weeks.
What did you think? Like walking in, what were you saw it in Ireland, so you saw it in some kind of different cinema, didn't you? In Ireland, why you don't have walls in the cinema?
No, they just project it onto the screen by a guy rotating the box.
Just get people going, imagine
and then
someone
they have
called Drax.
4 homeless Irish kids who have to do all the voices.
All the voices, yeah.
I'm Groot. That's what they do. They just do that for the whole thing. It's great. I went in. I don't know if I had high expectations, as in I didn't want to get my expectations up.
Yeah.
But like I hadn't watched any of the trailers. I saw like the first trailer.
Yeah.
And then I watched it, and then it was like I predicted. I didn't predict it, but it was James Gunn had cut that trailer to only show the first few minutes of the movie.
Sure.
So that whole battle with the big squid thing.
Yeah.
That was the original trailer.
Yeah.
Like Drax
and it was the first 5 minutes.
So I didn't. Nothing else that happened was like, oh,
that's great.
Oh, this stupid thing.
Yeah, that was great.
Even though like the bomb was in the trailer.
Yes.
You're not expecting it. It completely out of my head till he brings it up and he's like, okay, now the bomb has a 5-minute time. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah, totally. That was funny actually, because when that bomb bit did come up, I was kind of like, I knew I'd seen the trailer so many times.
Yeah.
I actually remember looking around the cinema thinking like,
how many people have seen it?
Do that?
Yeah.
And then actually surprising a lot of people.
A few people laughed.
Yeah.
It's always weird when it's like, have you guys not seen the trailer?
Yeah, I know. And
you guys aren't real fans. Get out. DC lovers.
A lot of the time, no, because even before it, they played the Thor trailer, and the thing I like about the Thor trailer is at the end where he's like, "It's a friend from work."
Yeah.
So whenever that comes up, I've seen it so often. I looked up and I'm like looking at the cinema. And like, he's a friend from work.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, that's amazing." And I'm like, yep, seen that. But
seen it, you idiots. I'm
just before we go into Guardians quickly, I wrote it down. This is the thing I wrote down mid podcast.
Right.
Is that I've got to take back what I said about Thor, because I've seen it now twice with Guardians and I watched it once before. 2 things. I was wrong about the music. I totally was, because it's stuck in my head all weekend.
Can't go wrong
it
with
was
Zeppelin.
Great music, so I don't know what happened to me.
They paid a lot of money for that Zeppelin, I
just
think.
The trailer actually looks great. Like, I'm really excited for the film. Like, and again, it might, maybe, I don't know, it was just the cut or I needed to see it twice. But I've been watching it like again and again, that trailer, especially with the music, and completely take back what I said. Like I still think it could be cut just a little better.
That hammer gets caught.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. I don't know what came over me, but just must have been in a bad mood. I hate fun. Yeah,
you're a prick.
But anyway, when that comes up and he's winding down with the rope at the beginning or whatever, I'm looking forward to this.
This is happening.
Yeah. But yeah, Guardians. Awesome, man. Like, what else?
I was like saying, I didn't go in with the expectations of it, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I do want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because I think it just a little, not that it went too fast, but it's like, it was such fun. It was just a fun movie that I'm like, I just want to take it in again. I just want to have that, like, oh, I know what's going to happen, so I can pace myself.
Totally, yeah.
I think a lot of the moments were really solid. They hit a lot of great things. Kind of too many jokes.
I agree. I think,
and too many jokes. It didn't quite hit the heights of the first one, and I was really concerned about how they didn't tie it in with the rest of the universe. Yeah, there was nothing. Except for like those after credit trailers or whatever. Yeah,
my number
one.
Which
is why it took so long for us to do this podcast, because we've just finished.
We just finished watching all 5 of them. Yeah, I think there was 5. I think if there was 5, because I read there was 5.
6.
I think I missed one. Then I must have missed one.
I thought it was 6.
We can go over them at the end.
Whatever we can remember.
Which one? Because I actually only remember 3 or 4.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I still think the only problem with it is Guardians 1 exists.
Yeah,
but if Guardians 1 didn't exist, you'd be like, this is great.
Here's the thing. Guardians 1 kind of came out of nowhere. We talked about it on another podcast, whereas a lot of people thought it was probably going to fail because they were like, no one knows Guardians. People know Thor, people know Spider-Man, people know Iron Man. So Guardians came out of nowhere, but they had the cast, they had the comedy, and they had the look and feel, like the space and everything. It's just in right now. So that came out of nowhere, and it was like, wow, this is an awesome film, you know? Whereas number 2 could never recreate that because it's a sequel. Yeah. So I wasn't concerned about that. My biggest concern was they didn't really add to the universe, the story. Yeah. Like, they didn't add to it really at all, apart from who his dad was and the fact that he was, like, his dad was, like, this god. Yeah. And the way they portrayed him as this big figure. I thought that kind of went nicely with Doctor Strange I keep forgetting the guy's name. Dormammu. Yeah. So I linked those two. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So they've shown this big god guy in this film and another one in another film. Yeah. And then eventually
they can make a big
Infinity War is going to be another one of those guys. Yeah. But so I like that. But apart from that, it was almost like a standalone film, you know, like it was just doing its own thing. Because I thought maybe
it was so popular the first time they just said do what you want.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I still loved it, and I thought there was one too many jokes in it. That you could almost categorize it under a comedy before action. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But saying all that, I absolutely loved it. I watched it again 2 days ago, and when I watched it again 2 days ago, the time just flew by like a switch. No, the time flew by. And I loved every single second of it. I laughed at all the same jokes just as hard. Yeah. And I was never bored. I was watching it again 2 weeks after, and I wasn't bored. I wasn't even like, oh, this is like a slow moment or whatever. I was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah, the pacing in it's great.
So, like, I almost feel like I want to hate on it more for being, like, not telling the story. And like not adding to the Marvel story more, but I just loved it. I just thought it was great.
As
like,
its own thing, it's
if
great,
someone put it on right now, I'd stay here and I'd watch it again. You know, whereas other films, I'll be like, you know, I'll watch it later. You know, whatever. But that one,
I've seen it. Yeah,
it's just entertainment all the way through. It's got comedy all the way through. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about just add too much comedy.
I think it was just that it's comedy. It was sometimes afraid to just be dramatic or sad.
I agree. Yeah,
it's like I had to make a joke. It's like it's all right. You can just let this be a moment. Yeah, I remember
and they did that towards
the end, and the end was like really powerful for me. Yeah, that again it was James Gunn picks the perfect song.
The one thing that I was surprised with the end there was I didn't think the audience had such a connection with Yondu. Yeah, I think he's great. I love the actor, and I know him from Walking Dead, so I had that. I already had that connection. Yeah, but I didn't see it from the first film. I think it kind of jumped a little bit
into this one.
But because they pulled it off so well at the end, I think it did a really good job. But like towards
they kind of layered it into this one a lot. There was like, he took care of me because he knew Ego was killing the other kids.
Yeah, and there was a
but it was definitely like that was not in the first one at all.
It wasn't, no, because in the first one it's like, you know, they even joked about it in the second one, saying like, we're gonna eat you, boy, and stuff like that, you know, but there was one thing in the second film, where his dad is like sucking the life out of him, using him as a battery or whatever, and he flashes before him like, oh no, Yondu says to him, use your heart, or whatever.
I fight my heart.
Yeah, and then you see him do the flashes, and one of the flashes I thought was super important. I only saw it the second time.
The gun.
Him and Yondu, you know, and I was like, they need to show a bit more of that. Yeah, they need to show a bit more of like him bringing him up, you know. They did hit on it, saying like, you always stick up for him and all that, but I think they needed to hit on that just a tad more.
But I think what worked for me for the ending was that wasn't the story. There was two different sad moments. It was sad for Peter because he realized he'd lost his real dad. Yeah. Which is kind of the thing of, like he says, like we never realized it, and he doesn't realize it till it's too late. Yeah. And then the sad part for Yondu is he was doing the right thing. Yeah. And no one remembered him. And then the Ravagers all turn up. And they give him a sending off. Yeah. And it's just like, for like they're two different things.
Yeah,
but they connect at the same moment. So for Peter, it was like goodbye to my real dad.
Yeah,
and he's like, shit, I never realized that until now.
Yeah,
and then for Yondu, it was like he got his reward. He got recognized by the Ravagers.
Yeah.
That bitch is that was the best bit.
Yeah,
where they all come up with
Stallone.
Like Stallone was great because he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
he just fucking turned up, said his fucking lines, and fucked off.
Yeah.
He's like, just do your job, Stallone. I know you've got an Oscar for your writing, but you haven't written anything great in 40 years.
Go back to Creed 2.
Go back to Creed 2. Yeah, like that's the thing. When he turns up and just does what other people ask him to do, he's good.
Yeah.
Like Creed, he's good in Creed because he wasn't the writer.
Right.
Somebody else wrote it and just said, you just do this, it'll be great. And he's like,
yeah,
okay. And that's I love that final bit, and it's
that was really
Cat
good.
Stevens playing and all that.
The only other thing, and I'm not seeing it as a negative, but I also thought it ended quite abruptly. Like, actually, after those fireworks, pretty much the film ended.
That's over, yeah.
Because it went.
Yeah, it ends on Rocket.
It ends on Rocket, and I don't think that's a bad thing because you don't want it to drag on. But I was, when that kind of cut there, when it cut, I was like, oh, okay, we're done. I wasn't like disappointed. I was like, this is an excellent film. But I was expecting just maybe a little bit more. But maybe the 5 post-credit things kind of helped that, or did that. Because right after that was the guy with the arrow. Yeah. Which was hilarious.
Well,
and also
we can't keep bitching about it, or else we're gonna lose our Marvel fanboy status. We gotta talk about it good. We can't talk bad things about it anymore.
Of course not. No. Oh, one thing I meant to bring it in with me, but Drax's laugh, like, it's just amazing. Yeah, it's just like, especially with the whole embarrassing stories, Yeah. But his deep laugh. Every time he laughed, the whole cinema were laughing. They were just like, "Oh my god, this guy's hilarious!" Yeah, it's just like. And then his whole thing with Mantis, she's hideous. And then I think the ending, that's one of the last lines. I texted you it last night or the night before. Yeah, it was like,
"You're beautiful."
Oh yeah, you're beautiful because the fireworks going off.
Yeah, she's saying it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and he goes, "And so are you." On the ends, it's like,
just even there,
it's just like, you're just like, oh my god, like, this guy is. They did such a good job with the humor. And the characters is like, if Drax wasn't in the next one, I'd be like, fuck, why isn't he in it?
Yeah.
If Chris Pratt wasn't in it, if Raccoon or Groot.
That's a thing they've talked about, though, is they might not be in it.
Who?
That the Guardians team will change.
Oh yeah.
In the third one.
Interesting.
I think that's what James Gunn said.
But the third one's
end of the third one is after Infinity War.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, it'll be a whole different team.
It could be, yeah.
Because Stallone's team is. Also,
I had to read up on them. Yeah, I heard about that as well. I mean, you never know what Infinity War. We know it's going to kill someone off. We think it's Iron Man.
Better kill him in the first 10 minutes. That's my new thing.
Yeah,
I want him dead in 10 minutes.
Sure.
Iron Man 10 hashtag Iron Man 10.
We'll be able to tell from the trailer, I'm sure.
No, it doesn't work. Iron Man 10.
What do you think about this? When the Infinity War trailer drops, do you reckon it's going to be one of the most watched trailers of all time?
I think so.
Because if it's got Chris Pratt,
Spider-Man,
Iron Man, Tony Stark,
Captain America,
Thor. If it's just got even a glimpse of all of them in it,
just all of that. That's it. It's just it pans across their faces.
Yeah,
and then just cuts over, and you just see.
You know what it's going to do.
It should have all of them.
Yeah,
and then on the ground, Iron Man dead. In the trailer, just give it away. Just do it.
They'd never do it. But I think they show everyone, and then I think. They might go down this route. They'll show Ultron and everything like that, and then maybe at the end they'll just have like someone. It will be like I don't know, whoever it is, Doctor Strange or someone with the most worrying face ever. Yeah, just like, oh my god.
Yeah, Strange just has to be the one.
What is he looking at?
Oh, maybe they'll introduce Silver Surfer, because that was something. We're going off on a tangent here, but do you remember the post credits? Stan Lee.
Hang on a second. Yeah.
Do you know when he's talking to those 3 tall guys? I don't know if you know what they are.
I don't. I meant to look it up.
They're called the Watchers.
Yeah.
One of them's called Uatu.
Okay.
And his job is to watch Earth.
Right.
Or this dimension. I can't remember. I think it's Earth.
Right.
But that's all they do. They're pricks. They just sit around watching. They never interfere, but they're kind of really powerful.
Right.
But they just watch and they document the history of the universe.
Sure.
And they're in like all the big galactic events. So anytime something massive happens, they're watching, they're paying attention.
Sure.
Stan Lee is apparently like their messenger.
Okay.
Like every character he's been in all the movies, it's always him.
Right.
Because he's paying attention for them.
Okay.
And one of the lines in it, this is a tangent on a tangent. One of the lines he says is, one time I was a courier, or one time I was a postman.
Yeah.
Now, he says that in this movie, but this movie is set before Civil War. And he's a postman in Civil War.
Okay.
So he's out of time.
Interesting.
So, like, for anybody who doesn't know, like, the Guardians 2 movie is only a few months after Guardians 1.
Right.
Because usually Marvel movies are, whenever they're released, is the year they're released. So it's 2 years, it's been 2 years. But this is only like a few months. That's why Baby Groot's still.
Yeah.
But the Watchers, apparently, they belong to the Fantastic Four universe. But the Fantastic Four belong to Fox.
Oh, okay.
So you see where I'm going with this? How do Marvel have the rights to put them in a movie unless they've gotten the Fantastic Four back? So if they got the Fantastic Four back, you can start Infinity War with Silver Surfer crashing into Doctor Strange's house, which is what happens in the comics.
Oh, okay.
And he's there warning them, being like, "Oh, you gotta watch out! Thanos is killing the shit out of people."
Right.
So maybe that'll happen.
Interesting.
Anyway, back to Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Pretty simple story.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So I had no idea it was going to feature his dad as much as that. And
I didn't know it was going to feature his
world and all that lot. Yeah.
No, I didn't know he was going to be such a galactic threat.
Yeah.
So like the story is he's got the little seed things that he's been planting around the universe as he goes off and makes babies with all these thousands of women.
Yeah.
And what he's waiting for is for one of his children to be strong enough to control the god power that he has. And then once they're together, then all these seeds will turn all the planets into him.
Yeah.
So that's something that might come up in like the next Marvel movie. Like that whole destruction that happened.
Yeah.
In wherever it was, Missouri.
Yeah.
You know, like it killed a few people.
Yeah.
Through those cars and all that
and loads of other planets as well.
And all the other planets.
Yeah.
But I think like maybe they could just have like Iron Man fly up and go, what the fuck happened here?
Exactly. They'll definitely, it's nice linkage to the films.
So that might be something.
Yeah.
But just that idea of like, he's trying to make the whole universe like him. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be that big. I didn't think it was going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy. They have to save the whole galaxy again.
Yeah.
But it was a good story. I liked it. Like,
I mean, again, from the trailers, they did a good job of not showing too much off like that and not knowing.
No, like you didn't know what was going on.
The only time that we saw Kurt Russell was basically coming out the ship, wasn't it? So in the trailer,
and I didn't even see that trailer. So
nice.
I knew he was the dad.
Yeah.
Just before, like 2 weeks before I went to see it.
Okay.
I think like Kurt Russell plays his dad. Like,
Yeah.
Why'd you tell me that, dickhead?
Yeah.
The thing about it that I really liked about the story was just that underlying theme of he plays ego and he's selfish and he wants everything to be like him.
Yeah.
And the point is that Quill and the rest of the team defeat him by being a family and working together and letting go of their egos. So I was just like, that's
kind of cool.
Like that's obviously James Gunn being able to do what he wants.
Yeah.
So he has all the time to put all those pieces in place rather than being like, oh, we need 5 minutes with Thanos. So like I liked as a standalone movie, it works really well.
Yeah.
I just think Marvel might have dropped the ball a little bit because it doesn't tease enough. But I guess Thor's going to do a lot of that.
Yeah, maybe they've got other lineups.
Got a lot of heavy lifting to do
I think so as well. And like I was even talking to my wife about it, saying like in Thor, it'd be interesting to see like maybe in the arena where he's fighting Hulk. Be interesting to see if like Rocket's in the arena watching, or whether he's preparing for a fight and he hears, oh, the Guardians of the Galaxy are coming through, or something. You know, I can imagine something like that happen. I would have liked to have seen it in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, like a mention to something. The only link to Earth was like the stuff blowing up or whatever. But it would have been nice to link them a little bit. But like maybe Thor's going to do the heavy lifting for that.
Like even that Earth thing, it's only for us. Like for the Avengers thing, because it's not like Peter particularly gives a shit about Earth.
No,
you know, he hasn't been there for 20, 30 years. So we've given it enough kicks as it is. What did you like about the movie?
What did we like about it?
I like Drax. I think Drax had some really brilliant moments.
He was solid. Like, I mean, first of all, like his laugh, but he was solid.
Like, he was funny.
So,
like Dave Bautista's just nailed that kind of
deadpan,
Just telling it straight.
Definitely.
No irony, no sarcasm.
He was starting to get into that at the end of the first one. Like, he was doing those jokes
They were
a lot
giving
more
him
at
a
the
bit
end.
more freedom.
Yeah, so you can tell that they were going to continue with that.
They're like, oh, he can do this. He's not just a stupid wrestler. It's like, oh, he's good at this.
Everyone, honestly, everyone had their own little light in this film, like in a really, really good way.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just Chris Pratt all the way. It
No.
was like, yeah, Drax did great.
Like, he kind of disappears like for maybe half an hour.
Yeah, and you've got like Rocket was great. Like,
which is kind of a little thing now I think about is it does kind of like gets to the planet.
Yeah.
And then everyone else has a story, and then we go back to Chris Pratt's thing.
Yeah,
I think it was just kind of it jumped right into the third act. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, we have to finish the movie.
Yeah.
We're having too much fun.
It's,
But, yeah,
I
it was
mean,
good.
it's difficult for them because in a way you've got like Avengers and they've all got their separate movies.
Yeah.
Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy, they're all great characters,
Yeah.
but they don't have their separate movies.
No.
So you kind of want to give them their time.
Yeah.
So that, you know, there's only so much you can tell
Yeah.
the story. So, and then you've got Yondu as well, and you've got, I don't know her name, but the cyborg woman.
The evil one?
Yeah, that sister.
Karen Gillan's. Oh, I can't remember her
You've
name.
got all these people, and you want to, and they're such great characters, but it's almost like you're almost doing like a DC where you're trying to show off all of them. They can only have so much screen time.
What they need is Lex Luthor to make them logos.
Logos so they can identify themselves. Drax was great. I mean, honestly, everyone was great. I'm not just saying that. Like Groot, Baby Groot was awesome.
Oh, Baby Groot was just designed to be loved. Like, he's just so much cute fun.
What was his name? Thingamajig face.
Huh?
Taser face. And then, like, when they were like, what do you want me to do with this thing? Should I crush him? Smash him with a rock? No! He's too adorable.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's too adorable.
He's our mascot.
Yeah. And then they were like, bring me from the drawer. Bring me my red...
his fin,
Finn. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And
That was like a 5-minute scene.
5 minutes out. He's like bringing desks over.
Yeah. And he brings over the towel.
Yeah.
It's like,
Please tell me you got. Like
tell me that was the way you found it.
Yeah.
And he just walks off again, bringing underpants and all that.
He brings his underpants.
And then he's like, I am Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you hate hats. I am Groot. Yeah, I know, I get it. You can't always wear it. It doesn't work with the install. It's just like...
And then eventually he opens the drawer, and then the friggin' thing's in there, and he's like...
Yeah.
Pulls out a pack of mints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have these.
Yeah. He's a great little character. And, and he is like a baby, because he, like... When Nebula's there, and she's like... Captures them and stuff, and he's crying, and like, he doesn't fight or anything. And then when he gets his chance to retaliate, he just swings the guy around. He's So I really loved like what they did with Groot, and then... even that had its own arc right up until the very end where he gets passed off to Drax. Yeah. And then Drax has him on the shoulder like a baby. Yeah. Because like Drax wasn't...
He was like dumber, smaller
Groot.
Groot.
Smaller Groot. And then at the end, like, he's like holding him and making him... Because they all treat him like a baby. Yeah. They're like, hey Groot, careful Groot. Like that kind of thing. Totally. So I love that. I love that Back to Drax again was his... Like you said, they had to give them enough time, like their whole movies, but they did so much with him with so little. Yeah. Like that perfectly scripted moment with him and Mantis, where he's talking about his wife and his daughter. Yeah. And in another movie, that wouldn't work. It could only work in a comic movie. Yeah. Because she could feel his feelings. Yeah. And he's just saying it, and it doesn't give you anything. Yeah. And then when she touches him, she immediately starts crying. Yeah. And it's like, that's brilliant. And then because he could never do that. Like, it's not that Dave Bautista couldn't get to that point. Yeah. But Drax, the character, him starting to cry would just ruin him. No, totally. Yeah. But the fact that someone else touches him and she can't control it, you're like, this is what he lives with. The first film helps because he's just a bloody maniac. Like, the only thing he wants to do is kill that dude because of his family, you know. But you're completely right. Like, let someone else with emotions just touch him, and she's just like totally shocked and blown away. Even the two sisters, like, I don't know, I'm not good at the names. Nebula, but even them, even those two were like great with their relationship. Like, that was kind of rushed though. That came out of nowhere. Like, they were literally throwing planes at each other and Gatling guns, and then they're just like, want to be friends? Yeah, be friends. Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of think they've just been doing it for so long that it's just like, there is a reason, yes, I want you dead, but then suddenly it's like, actually, I thought I wanted you dead, but I don't, you know. It's just like, it was just that clash of oh, I thought I wanted you dead, but no.
The other thing I liked about that is at the end she doesn't join the team.
No, yeah, I like that as well. And she's out for Ultron, you know, that's her main objective. Thanos, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that too. Like it wasn't like everything's great. It's like no, she's not gonna quite join the team.
Yeah.
She'll help you.
Yeah.
But she's not there yet.
The one little thing actually that annoyed me, I know we were on good things there, but was when Drax was hanging out the back of the plane or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they came crashing onto the island. Not island, but the planet.
The planet, yeah.
I didn't like that he was hanging out the back being smashed around by trees and everything, and he was alright. I was kind of like, I don't know.
No, he's about that.
It's
tough,
like, yeah, he is and he isn't. I mean, like in the first one, he was getting battered around with the guy with the hammer and shit. Yeah, Ronan, and he was like pretty fucking like done in. I knew he was done in. Okay, he's done in, but like being whacked around by trees and stuff. I just thought he just came off it. He was like, ha ha ha, you know, this thing. I just thought it would have been a little bit more if he was like.
He was wearing that spacesuit.
Hang on a second, you know. Yeah, possibly.
That gel kind of thing they had.
There's reasons for it. Actually, that was a great bit with die spaceship.
Yeah.
So, and
I was thinking that too. Like when he's getting hit by the trees, I'm like, how strong is this motherfucker?
That's what I was wondering. And then she was holding on to him. But at the end of the day, we're watching a Marvel superhero space film, so it's okay.
I guess they kind of have to up their levels because it's like, oh, these guys have to be Avengers thing.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know what the Avengers are going to do against Thanos. He can do whatever he wants.
Well, that's what I was telling my wife on the way back from the cinema. She was like, "Oh, this is a great film. What's next, Thor and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, Thanos has got every single Infinity Stone in his glove." And
like you're not going to beat Thanos with love and family. It doesn't work like that.
I'm like, he can use time. He can use every Infinity Stone that you've seen. He's got in his glove and he can use it all. So I was like, you know that thing that Doctor Strange did, which is awesome. Like he can do that anytime he wants.
The whole planet
he can do that. I was like, he can take a human form, and I think he probably will. Like we've discussed it, that he'll probably be like, he'll almost want to take a human form just to kind of lower himself to that level and see how he does. But as soon as he gets pissed off, he'll take that God level, which we've seen twice now. We've seen it in Doctor Strange.
The gauntlet makes him more powerful than that.
Right.
That's how powerful he is.
Yeah.
Like he's the god. He's not a god. He's the god.
Right. Yeah.
So he could like see ego and just go, gone.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Disappear. So I don't know what they're gonna have to lower him down.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is kind of shitty.
I don't know. They'll do it, but then they'll kill off Iron Man and
Someone else.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure one of the sisters will die as well. If not both.
Maybe Nebula.
So, well, I think Nebula for sure, but then there'll be someone else. He'll kill off a few people.
He'll have to kill a few people from a couple of the teams. Yeah.
So there'll be, definitely one of the sisters because they're so connected
Winter Soldier.
So
he'll die.
Oh yeah. All these you know, and then one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
It's gotta kill Iron Man.
I'm pretty sure it will be him. Do you reckon it will be? We already discussed.
We've discussed this before, but it's getting to the point where it's getting really tight. We got.
It's great. It's great that we're talking
Thor
about it.
in November, Black Panther next March.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Infinity War.
Technically, Spider-Man in between that.
Technically, yeah. I think Spider-Man's got a little bit of leeway. It doesn't have to fit in.
It's not going to add to that story.
No.
It's just going to be Tony Stark in that, but it's not going to add to.
Because that came in right at the end of the play.
I'm sure they might allude to or have.
It was never part of the plan.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, man. I mean, you said you preferred number one?
I don't know if I prefer number one, except that number one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I prefer this one, I think. I actually think I do prefer this one.
If you said...
That's why I want to watch it again and just be like, okay, I've seen it. I can just absorb it.
Yeah.
Was I just in a good mood?
Yeah.
But I genuinely think this is a better movie than the first one for some things.
Yeah.
Not the whole thing, I
agree.
don't think.
I think
but like, it was funnier. The action was better.
Yeah.
It was more colourful. And just that last, 10 minutes with Yondu's funeral.
Yeah.
It just got me. It's just like, maybe because I was back home and it was family and all that. I'm like,
I know what you mean.
I get you what you're feeling. And then all the fireworks go off. I'm like,
Did you see in the fireworks? Did you see the arrow?
Yeah. When he turns into the dusty arrow.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is just.
I agree. I think there's number one. I think there's a great story, like a Marvel story. It was original. It came out we weren't expecting it. Awesome, and
Yeah.
I still love the film. This one, I think, like if we were to sit down with our, Steve and a couple of other our mates, and we're like, "Do you want to watch this film?"
Yeah.
Even if they don't like Marvel films, I'm like, "You're gonna laugh
This is
at
great,
this film,"
yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd rather watch number 2 than number 1. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm
Well,
going back on
we'll
myself.
watch number 1. We'll do a commentary on it.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably say they're around equal, but yeah, just really great.
Yeah.
No, not that many
If
negatives.
anybody hasn't figured it out by the end of this, it's really great.
Yeah.
Go and see it if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah.
If you like fun movies, it's great. If you
Yeah.
like dark, depressing, crying movies, it'll make you cry.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one of the most upbeat films for a while.
And it really does keep on going. There isn't too many like kind of quiet low points. And like sometimes you need those in films because you need to tell a story. But this one, it was just like, it flowed really nicely.
Yeah.
There was a couple of like storytelling quiet moments on the planet.
Yeah.
Peter's planet. But it was fine.
Here's
like
a
even
quick
when
thing for you. Kurt Russell, when they made him young,
oh yeah.
how good did he look?
I know. They must have used the same tech.
I was just like looking at the script, I'm like that. I'm trying to find the problem.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't see it. It's
They
nearly
got that
perfect.
tech. They used it in X-Men for Picard.
And then they got Robert Downey Jr. in
that's right.
Civil War.
Yeah. Just tracks the face, makes it.
They're
younger,
just it's so good. I'm just like, how
these days is nuts.
Like I think maybe what's the next one? Thor. Thor probably won't have it, but Black Panther might have it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's gonna be perfect.
I know.
You're just gonna be like, oh, they got that actor's not that old anymore. How is he like this?
Yeah. It's amazing. What a world we live in.
What a world we live in. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, just excellent, man. Like, really did enjoy it. I'd easily go see it again. I'm just looking forward to coming out on DVD and watching it.
Yeah, watching it at home, chilling. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. It ticked all the boxes. I'd say the only downside to it for me, and we've already mentioned it, was that it just didn't continue the Marvel universe. Like, it didn't. Yeah. Thor will probably do that. It didn't link the films quite as much as I thought, but that's I'm sure they've got a plan.
I think Gunn earned the right to just be like, look, I made you this much money. Yeah. Just let me do my movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, whatever. Because they never expected to do Guardians 2. I wouldn't think that was on the slate. They're like, we'll do Guardians 1 and see what happens. And it's like, oh, wow.
And they've already confirmed number 3.
Yeah.
For after Infinity War.
So it should be great.
Yep. Go out and see it, guys. We sent Chris Pratt our second cinema ticket. Just double time, whatever. We wanted to let him know. We were like, we want to see this thing twice, man. Boom.
So I don't think there's any point talking about what else we've watched this week because we've been rambling on, catching up for the last 2 weeks.
Rambling on.
But we'll be back. Next week we'll be back.
For sure.
And we got a new video coming out for Digging Deeper series, and then there's another video after that, and another video after that. So it's going to be nice and busy. And then we're going to do Injustice. We're going
to go see Alien. Did you see Alien?
I haven't seen it, no.
We're going to see Alien.
We'll go see Aliens.
We've got that much talked about.
So we'll talk about that next week.
VR Alien coming out as well.
VR Alien next week.
Yeah.
Not next week, but Alien Covenant next week, and then VR Alien soon after.
Yeah.
And Injustice the week after that.
Yes.
Because we want to do a proper run through.
Yeah.
Film it and have a good laugh and a good night playing.
Yeah. And let us know your feedback as well, because on some of them, like the Injustice, we might not have our faces on them, you just have our voice. But then with the Alien, you will actually physically see us.
Yeah, you will see us.
Let us know what you want to see, and
which ones you enjoy, which ones you don't.
So, yeah.
It's time for my weekly, even though we don't do it weekly, it's time for the weekly Omaze update competition.
Oh, yeah.
Tying into the Marvel. Don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Omaze's competition is you can have an all-access day with Robert Downey Jr. on the set of the Avengers movie. Oh yeah, I've seen your face change. You're like, I like that now. So I think you get to go have lunch with him.
Yeah.
And then you get to go hang out on set on the Infinity War movie.
Nice.
The thing about this competition that's a bit different than the other Omaze competitions, it's like $10, same thing.
Right.
All the money's going to charity. But in this case, part of the prize is you get to pick where the money goes.
Oh, okay.
Because the money's going to go to Robert Downey Jr.'s foundation.
Right.
And he gives money to like 5 or 6 charities a year.
Yeah.
And you get to say where you would like the money to go.
Okay.
So they're going to pick like 4 charities they say, where would you like us to also give money to?
Huh.
So Robert Downey Jr. is going to like not only give the money to that charity, but it's going to become a sponsor for that. So he's going to have his face and lend his name to it.
That's great.
So if there's something out there you really care about,
exactly,
you get to give money.
Oh, I have to put into this one.
So it's not like the other things they give money to or things you don't care about, like kids or clearing mines. But this one's like, if you actually have something you want to give a bit of attention to, you're going to get Robert Downey Jr. on your back.
They do a really good job on those.
So. And then there's also t-shirts for like $100 that are special. $500 will get you a different thing. You can get a signed Funko, the little Iron Man thing.
Oh, cool.
I think it's like for $1,000 he'll sign one of them for you.
Nice.
Spider-Man posters, stuff from the movie, stuff from the movie, stills from the movie that will be signed,
right?
All that. So like if you've got 10, 20, 30,000, well, not dollar, $3,000, $2,000 you want to spend it, but $10, get to go fly to wherever the hell they're shooting it and go see Avengers.
Can't go wrong.
So that's pretty great. So omaze.com/experiences/
Do you find out who won on the other ones, like the Star Wars one last month or whatever it was?
If you go to the site, they'll say
see who
the winners
won
are.
Oh, sweet.
They might say anonymous. They might not want to give their name, but generally they do have to give their name because they're going to be waving and on the red carpet and all that. So you go check that out at omaze.com if you want to help if you want to see Robert Downey Jr. If you want to help charities, whichever one you want to do. There's 3 weeks left on that one.
Oh, nice.
So
very nice indeed.
That'll be pretty awesome. Oh, and it's for 2 people, by the way.
I think it usually is, isn't it?
This one's for 2 people. So it's you and your friend. You get to go and see Robert Downey Jr.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Exactly. So, and for anybody who doesn't want to see Robert Downey Jr. and wants to listen to us, you can just
tune out now.
Well, you can check us out at Antraperture. We've just lost it now. At randomness@gmail.com or at randomness Twitter. Send us some comments, send us some chat. We know we've been quiet, but we're back now every week to ruin your lives with useless information. But thanks for checking us out, guys. It's always great when you guys are here and listening and following us and all that stuff. It's great.
Really appreciate it.
It's what keeps us going. That and the drugs.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Boom!